We need a central midfield player defensively, and Richards has been doing that job well. If I have to move him to the back, we'll have a gap there.
Roy, you must be really pleased with the team's resilience, particularly after going 2 down and winning a point late on.
Yes, I was really pleased with the team from the first minute to the last. I thought the way that the players stuck a game plan and tried to make it work and to cause at least Man City a few more problems in terms of creating goal chances than they are sometimes used to doing. But it wasn't just a question of resilience, it was a question of spirit as well and determination, because if we'd have wanted excuses for a defeat today, we had loads and loads of them. It's all very well saying you've got 7 players injured, but when 5 of them are your regular players in the attacking positions, you've got even more reason, I think, to say well done today, boys. You know, people playing in that game there who've no Premier League experience at all, a bench of academy players, no real seniors to put on to help us out apart from the 11 who started the game. Excellent work from the players today. I can't praise them enough. I thought they were excellent.
And those young players that came on seemed to make a difference at the end as well. Were you pleased with how they did?
Yep, very pleased with them. I mean, David Ozo came on reasonably early. I thought he was excellent. And the ones that came on at the end, in particular, Franca, he had a very good cameo. I've been expecting that. I know that I've said to him on many occasions, when you get your chance, I'm sure you'll be okay. But of course, it's a little bit easier coming on sometime in games. You know, we'd scored 2-1. There was a little bit of belief suddenly. It was a good moment for him to come on. I don't know that it would have been as easy for him if we'd have been given that job from the start. There we were very reliant upon Schlupp and Jida Riedewald, who did an excellent job for us.
Had 2 good performances in a row against 2 very difficult sides. How much confidence can you then take into the game against Brighton as a result of this?
Well, we can take one thing into it. We know that it doesn't matter if the team that we're playing against is on paper regarded as a stronger team. We know that we can get out there and make a really good show and make a good game of it. I don't think we'll see the best of Crystal Palace until we get players back from injury and we start to field what we think might be our best 11, which we were able to do at the end of last season. That's a way off, so the fight will have to continue until then. But it's good to know that you've got that fight in your team. And of course the goals were good goals as far as we're concerned. And for Mateta, who's been waiting patiently for his chance, he's grabbed it with both hands and deserves an awful lot of credit for the way he played today.
And how's Joel Ward after going off injured?
We don't know. It's a hamstring, so that's another one. I mean, that would just be another injury to compound things for us. You know, we thought we were pretty well off for centre backs, but when we lost Holding and Tompkins, it suddenly became a bit less. And then suddenly, if we lose Joel Ward, it will be less still. We need a central midfield player defensively, and Richards has been doing that job well. If I have to move him to the back, we'll have a gap there. So these will be the problems that we have to wrestle with. But the one thing I'm sure of is that the fans who are here today, they must be very proud of their team, proud of the way they supported us. You know, well, they were vastly outnumbered, of course, by the opposition's fans. And it's going to be a good ride home for us, even though it's only 1 point. It doesn't move us into the top 6 as yet, but at least it moves us 1 point away from relegation.
Roy, you sounded a bit disillusioned with football last week, but when you get a performance like that from your players and you carry out a game plan like you did,
yeah,
it makes you feel a bit different?
No, you're right, Jonathan, but I mean, I was disillusioned last week by the way the game panned out and what we had to suffer during the course of the game. You know, to play as well as we'd done with 11 men, despite losing our goalkeeper, our central midfield player and our centre forward, but still keeping them at bay and leading 1-0, to lose it in the last 15 minutes to a player being sent off. I'm sorry to say that would disillusion most people, and I'm included.
And Mike?
But today, games like today show you exactly why you love this sport, why you spent a lifetime in this sport.
Sure. I mean, one of the guys on TV said. I mean, you know, you seem happy now, but I said the times are countless during a 46-year career where after a game where things have really gone against, you don't feel very good and you don't feel very cheerful. But I don't actually regret what I said last week. I regret, I suppose, to some extent, that people are making suggestions that I've had enough of football, because that isn't the case, of course. But I don't regret what I said last week. I weighed my words.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting.
No.
It's moments like this. That
Yeah, well, I'd like to think that I can keep it in some sort of perspective. I mean, last week I was by no means suicidal, and this week I'm by no means, raving about the team, football, and how wonderful it is. I think I've still got a relative perspective on it, but I suppose there are going to be moments when I will waver between the two emotions. The emotions today are a lot better.
Mike?
Well, just you talked about the game plan. You obviously, they would have a loss of the ball. Was it a case of patience and waiting to get your attacking players on the ball?
Yeah, of course. I mean, to be honest, we changed our system today, obviously with respect to Man City, because we know the spaces they're looking for and how good they are at getting in there. So, but not purely that. We did it to get our 11 senior players on the field and find a way of getting them in there. So if I'd have decided to go with a back four, I'd have had to leave Ward or Klein out of the team. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted, I wanted to find a way of getting those guys on there. I wanted Schlupp to be on the field of play. And then we had to find a way of, when Hughes went down overnight sick, he was due to play. It was going to be Hughes and Richards. They were going to be the two central midfield players. He goes down sick overnight. Will Hughes, he was very good last week too. We had to find, well, who's going to play there? Well, our alternatives were Ozo, who's not played Premiership 4, Ahamada, who's not really played for us more than a couple of times, or Jairo Riedewald, who hasn't played a game since Manchester United. The same as Dean Henderson. Hasn't played a game since Manchester United in the League Cup, not the league, in the League Cup. I can't even remember when that was. So, we had to find a way of, right, if we get the players that we think are the right guys, some experience, know what we're trying to do on the field, we might give ourselves a chance. And that's exactly what happened.